Kurinji Senior Secondary School, CBSE, Namakkal.
Successful result producing school in state every year.
Administered by the Board of Directors with over 35 years of experience in the teaching field.
Special attention on art, craft, music, dance, silambam, yoga, skating and karate.
Focus on Hindi Sabha and Spell Bee Olympiad exams.
Smart class for effective and innovative learning and well-furnished library.
Solitary importance on sports and games in state and national level.
WhatsApp facilities to know activities of students and school inside the campus.
Free bus for LKG to 8th standard.
Free, hygienic and nutritious food.
NEET, JEE, IIT coaching experts from Rajasthan and Andhra Pradesh along with our effective teachers.
Admission registration for classes LKG to +2.
Kurinji Educational Institution, Kavetipatti, Namakkal. Admission in progress. CBSE, KG to 12, contact 9025895176. Metric 6 to 12, contact 9344567484. For online admission, log on to www.kurinjischoolnkl.in.
So in this video, now we are going to discuss regarding protozoans, protists, or simply protists are not required, protozoans. So before this video, so what is the information we have learned? So for our convenience to study protista members, we have been divided into following types. So what are those? Chrysophytes, dinoflagellates, euglenoids. Next one more is protozoans. So likewise slime molds and protozoans. So in this particular case now, so what is the meaning of this one of protozoans? Means animal like, means these protozoans being like animals. Okay, now meaning is protozoa meaning is first animals. Protozoa meaning is first animals. Next one, these protozoans are being like or looks like animals. Looks like animals. So now, so these protozoans are microscopic. These protozoans are microscopic, unicellular and eukaryotic and colonial and non-photosynthetic organisms. Means here till now most of the members of protista members means chrysophytes as well as dinoflagellates, euglenoids. Maximum members we have seen as autotrophs, but here non-photosynthetic organisms. These protozoans members are non-photosynthetic, microscopic, unicellular, eukaryotic. All these points are common, but what is the point you have to remember under protozoans means non-photosynthetic, means these are all not photosynthetic organisms. These are all not photosynthetic organisms. Now which are previously placed in protozoa, phylum protozoa of kingdom of Animalia. They have possesses some animal traits in the nutrition and locomotion and absence of cell wall. Now you see there. So these organisms means these protozoan organisms previously we have been placed under where phylum protozoa. So for that one reason also is there. So kingdom Animalia, as they possess means they have different types of animal characters or the animal traits. So where in nutrition concern as well as in locomotion concern as well as in absence of cell wall, means in absence of cell wall as well as locomotion concern as well as nutrition concern, definitely these protozoans are having resemblance or similarities or identifications with animals. So that's why these protozoans we have placed under kingdom protozoa of animal or kingdom Animalia. So don't forget these 3 points are important, means because of what characters or because of which characters we have been placed these protozoans under kingdom Animalia, means so these protozoans members definitely having of so animal traits or having of similarities with the animals. So in case of nutrition as well as locomotion, and one more is in absence of cell wall. Next one, they have considered as primitive relative of or relatives of animals, means so already we have seen here definitely these protozoans members are having so similarities with animals. So that's why these protozoans we will be considering as primitive relatives of animals. So don't forget this point is important, primitive relatives of animals. primitive relatives of animals. Now up to here, once you see there, so what is the meaning? Animal like protist, so seems to be like or they will be having animal characters. Protozoa, first animals, microscopic, unicellular, eukaryotic and colonial. This is important point. Non-photosynthetic organisms. Non-photosynthetic organisms which are previously placed under phylum, which one? Protozoa of kingdom Animalia. So why? Because why they have placed under Animalia kingdom means, so they will be having animal traits. So what are the animal traits? So nutrition concern, or in relation of nutrition, locomotion, and in absence of cell wall. Here you see the absence of cell wall, now we are observing now. So there in animals also absence of cell wall we have seen. Absence of cell wall we have seen in animals also. So that's why based on these points, these protozoans we have been placed under kingdom Animalia. Next one, these protozoans we will be considering as primitive relatives of animals. So don't forget, this point also is important. Next one, these protozoans members, so for our convenience to study, we have been divided into 4 groups. So what are the groups? So 4 groups now we have been studied. So those members are, first one is amoeboid protozoans, second one is flagellated protozoans, third one is ciliated protozoans, and fourth one is sporozoans. One more time, try to by heart this order, or at least order is not important, not required, but at least 4 members. These 4 members try to, or these 4 groups try to remember. So let us have a look on this by one more time. Now amoeboid protozoans, flagellated protozoans, ciliated protozoans, and one more is sporozoans. So likewise there are different types of groups are there in protozoans. Now let us have a look on this amoeboid. So now these members are present in aquatic, so definitely present in water, and also grow in moist soils. So moist conditions, definitely wet conditions, no. So these amoeboid protozoans are present. So they move. How they will move? So okay, let us see. So they move and they capture their prey. So means definitely they will capture their prey by putting out which one? Pseudopodia. Pseudopodia means we know very well false feet like structures of pseudopodia like structures. So already I have written false feet. So means amoeboid protozoans generally present in water and also present in moist soils. So definitely move and capture. So definitely moves and captures their prey. So with the presence of or by the formation of pseudopodia. So by formation of pseudopodia, false feet. Pseudopodia means a false feet. Example concerned, best example is amoeba, that's we know very well. Amoeba. Next one, marine forms have silica cells. So this point is important for NEET examinations. So definitely marine forms have means in amoeboid protozoans. So some based on this one, what is the point? We can understand some amoeboids or amoeboid protozoans also present in marine, marine or present in ocean or sea. So definitely, so what are the forms are present in ocean or sea? Definitely body, everything is covered by silica shell. Silica shells, don't forget. So silica shells are present in marine forms of amoeboid protozoans. Now here one point I would like to revise. So in previous video I have given regarding dinoflagellates. So in dinoflagellates the body is covered by thick cellulosic plates there. In dinoflagellates dinoflagellates body is covered by means of thick cellulosic plates, but whereas here amoeboid protozoans body is covered by which one? Silica shells. So why I am this one revising, you try to understand. Definitely it is important point you have to save in your mind. Okay ma. So silica cells on their body surface. So is important. Next one, some kind of amoeboid protozoans or parasites. So parasites means definitely it takes the food materials or younger the food materials as well as minerals from the living organisms. So such kind of organisms we will be calling as parasites. So amoeboid protozoans parasites, example Entamoeba histolytica. So this one zoology teachers will teach in further classes. Entamoeba histolytica is coming under amoeboid protozoans. Next one, flagellated protozoans. Flagellated protozoans concerned. So these protozoans have a flagella. Some see their side heading itself giving information. So definitely these protozoans consist of flagella. So either and these flagellated protozoans either free living or parasites. So parasites means normally I said no here. So definitely takes the food materials from the living organisms for its surveillance, or sometimes no, it is acting as, or it can live as a free living. No need to depends on any other things like parasites. Why? Because these are all free living. Next one, examples concerned Trypanosoma gambiense. So gambiense I didn't write, but textbook concerned Trypanosoma also you can remember. Trypanosoma gambiense is a parasite which causes sleeping sickness. So don't forget this point, very important. So that is Trypanosoma gambiense is a parasite which causes sleeping sickness. So generally this one can be seen in African countries. So they will suffer from this sleeping sickness. So because of the presence of Trypanosoma. So this Trypanosoma comes under flagellated protozoans. So one or two points are important related to the flagellated protozoans. Next one, ciliated protozoans. Ciliated protozoans definitely are aquatic protozoans with numerous cilia. Again side heading itself giving information. So ciliated protozoans definitely consist of more number of cilia. They have a cavity. So now here what is happening now? They have a cavity that leads to or leads into an opening is known as cytostome. My important. So means here the numerous cilia means there are millions of cilia are present. So definitely after that, next point, what is the point we are studying now? They have a cavity that leads, means that opens into a place that is known as cytostome. Cytostome means, for easily understanding concern, I have written its meaning. So cell mouth. Cytostome is nothing but cell mouth will be there, means the cavity that will be opened at cell mouth or cytostome. So what is the importance of this one means? Now here you see there the coordinated movement of rows of cilia ultimately driving the water containing food materials into the gullet. Means here when this cilia is going to be movement, means here when these are all moving in one systematic order, ultimately what is the function? Why sir these cilia moving like one in a coordination manner? Means because of the, so when these cilia are moving in a coordination mode, no, automatically, so that brings, so water, so when water is coming, no, definitely, so what are the food materials are present in the water, definitely enters into the gullet. So later, so that particular food materials angled or taken up by the ciliated protozoans. So what is the best example sir? Means paramecium. So Paramecium. So paramecium. So paramecium is the best example, so which we can be taken under ciliated protozoans. Now fourth one concerned, sporozoans. Sporozoans. So this include diverse protozoans that produce an infectious spore like which one? Sporozoite. So sporozoite. So one more time, sporozoans are there. These sporozoans includes, so one important this include diverse protozoans that produce an infectious spore like stage. So that particular stage now we will be taking as a sporozoite in their life cycle, and they do not have special locomotory structures. So this point is important one once you see there. So in amoeboid protozoans, for movement point of view, so where it is, so for movement point of view, so pseudopodia is there, yeah, see there. Now movement as well as capture of prey concerned, pseudopodia we are saying. So in case of amoeboid protozoans as well as flagellated protozoans, so definitely flagella is present. Next one, in ciliated protozoans, cilia is present, but so in out of 4 members, in sporozoans only we could not find the special locomotor structures. So this point also is important. Why? Because in out of 4 groups, so there is no locomotor structures in the sporozoans, and these sporozoans are very dangerous. Why? Because infectious spores means, I think so these members pathogens or like pathogens we can be considered. So best example is Plasmodium. Yes, so we can be taken these sporozoans as pathogens. Why? Because for example, when you will see this example Plasmodium, so this Plasmodium is acting as malarial parasite. So malarial parasite. So this Plasmodium is acting as a malarial parasite. Definitely it causes diseases in the human beings. So thereby this particular Plasmodium we can be taken as pathogens. Now let us have a look on this. So that is these primitive relatives of animals means these protozoans. Now for our convenience to study, now we have been divided into 4 groups: amoeboid protozoans, ciliated protozoans, flagellated protozoans, ciliated protozoans, and one more is sporozoans. Now let us have a look on this kingdom. Which one kingdom? Fungi. Kingdom fungi concerned. So here, according to RH Whittaker, this particular kingdom coming under, or it is third kingdom. So there, according to RH Whittaker, so there are 5 kingdoms are there. Now what are those kingdom? Monera, Protista, fungi, Plantae, Animaliae. So Plantae, Animaliae. So now here in a kingdom fungi, what are the main important points to be discussed means, so it is a large group of eukaryotic organisms. So here large group of eukaryotic organisms. So here mostly, so this point I have written 2 or 3 times on the board. So why? Because the large group of eukaryotic organisms and the cell wall is made up of chitin. That's why I have written as chitinous. Okay, so these examples, so sir, can you give any examples under kingdom fungi for easy to understand means? So best example yeast we can be taken, yeast, molds, as well as some more familiar example, that is mushroom comes under fungi. So here in kingdom fungi, so what are the main important points now we have discussed? Large group of eukaryotic chitinous cell wall organisms means here definitely these eukaryotic organisms cell wall is made up of chitin. So best example is yeast. Here under yeast one important point to try to save in your mind. So in kingdom fungi, so one and only the best example, that is yeast, comes under unicellular fungi. So don't forget, yeast is a unicellular fungi, and remaining all kind of examples or all types of organisms which are coming under fungal members, all are multicellular except yeast. Why? Because this yeast example or best example of unicellular fungi. So now let us have a look on these examples by one more time. Yeast, molds, and mushrooms. Here these examples like just superficially they have given them. So still so many examples are there. Okay, like let us move according to the textbook as well as other books information only. But while the classes of for the depth information of fungal members comes now, so that time definitely so exclusive examples I will give you. No worry. But primarily you try to remember these examples: yeast, molds, as well as mushrooms. So these 3 enough for understanding purpose concern. So definitely all these are all coming under fungal members. So the study of a fungi is known as mycology. Study of a fungi is known as mycology. Next one, father of mycology is Micheli. M-I-C-H-E-L-I-E. Father of Micheli. Father of mycology is Micheli. Next one, father of modern mycology is D. Bari. One more time, study of fungi is known as mycology. Next one, father of mycology is Micheli. Next one, father of modern mycology is D. Bari. Bari. Next one, occurrence concern. So where we can find out these fungal members means occurrence concern, definitely we can be seen in terrestrial, so definitely we can be seen on land and living in a dark. So definitely, so these are fungal members present in dark areas means like dark areas and damp places. So damp places as light is not required for their nutrition. So definitely these fungal members, so for the obtaining of food materials, no need to depends on the light. Why? Because already we learned the whether we learned or not. So these fungal members definitely comes under heterotrophs. Don't forget, heterotrophs means just no need to depends on the or no need to perform the process of photosynthesis, just simply depends on the other kind of organisms. So such kind of organisms, so simply we will be calling as heterotrophs. So definitely, so light definitely not required for their nutrition purposes. Next one, some bacteria, some fungal members grows on specific substrates or substances. So like dung, suppose some kind of bacteria members, they will be growing on some kind of substrates. So what are the examples? Dung. Suppose if the fungal members present on or grows on fungal members, so such kind of fungal members we will be calling as coprophilous. Coproma, C-O-P-R-O, philous, coprophilous. Suppose if the fungal members present or grows on wood, lignophilous, L-I-G-N-O, lignophilous. Next one, on air, keratinophilous, K-E-R-A-T-I-N-O, keratinophilous. Okay, now occurrence concern, definitely present on the land and definitely present in dark areas and dampy places also. Definitely for nutrition concern, light is not required. Next one, definitely some of the fungal members grows in dung and some of the fungal members grows on wood and some are on hair. So the fungal members which are grown on or which will grow on dung, we will be calling as coprophilous. Next, on wood, lignophilous, and on hair, keratinophilous. Likewise, somewhat occurrence of the fungal members we can be seen. Next one, fungal structures concerned. So here just a simple introduction only we have learned. Actually, so this information also introduction only. So next one, fungal structures concerned, somatic or vegetative plant body of a fungal members is known as mycelium. Don't forget, important, one more time. Fungal structures concerned, what is the point? No, somatic or vegetative plant body of a fungal members, somatic as well as vegetative plant body of a fungal members is known as mycelium. So this mycelium consists of thread-like structures known as hyphae. One more time. So fungal structures concerned, somatic or vegetative plant body of a fungal members is known as mycelium. Mycelium is nothing but vegetative plant body or somatic plant body of which one? Of a fungus. Is known as mycelium. Next one, this mycelium consists of thread-like structures. So thread-like structures are known as hyphae. Don't forget a hyphae. Next one, colorless, and these are all means this hyphae is a colorless and covered by a distinct cell wall made up of chitin. So chitin, so in a biomolecules lesson definitely chitin information also I will give you. So this chitin example like in polysaccharides, so homopolysaccharides. So chitin example we can be taken under homopolysaccharides. There in a biomolecules chapter I will give you information regarding this chitin chemical compound information. But here what is the point now I am asking to remember is the plant body is known as mycelium, consists of thread-like structures known as a hyphae. This hyphae is colorless structure. Definitely, so consists of a cell wall. Definitely this particular cell wall is made up of chitin. So next one, cell structures concerned. So cell structures concerned, cells are eukaryotic in nature. So here few important points are there. So cell structures concerned, so definitely eukaryotic nature. Okay. Next one, they possesses So what they possess all or all types of cell organelles except plastids. So this point you try to remember. So here plastids are absent. Why here the plastids are absent? Suppose if plastids are present, definitely performs the process of photosynthesis because of the presence of chloroplast. So suppose chloroplast here is there means, so these fungal members will not become under kingdom fungi, so will not be divided into separate kingdom. So that's why here because of the absence of plastids we have given special kingdom as kingdom fungi. So that point is not required, but this point you try to remember, that is definitely there are all different types of cell organelles are present except plastids. Why here all different types of cell organelles are present means because these members are comes under eukaryotes. So next one, cell wall is present. So definitely cell wall is present means the presence of cell wall actually is the character of plant cell. Actually in comparison of plant as well as animal, so cell wall we can be seen in plant. So again as well as cell wall we could not be seen in animals. So that's why, so here I have written as cell wall is present where in a fungal members. So this presence of cell wall is a characteristic point of plant cell. So that point you try to save in your mind. Next one, this particular this cell wall, plant cell or fungal cell wall is made up of chitin. I think so this is the third time or fourth time on this video I am explaining. So that is which one? The cell wall is made up of chitin and reserve food materials. Reserve food material is glycogen as well as oil droplets. Droplets I didn't write, but you can be taken as oil droplets. So means reserve food material is glycogen and oil droplets. Next one, all fungal members are heterotrophic. Can you guess why? So why here all fungal members are heterotrophic means because of the absence of plastids. So when plastids are absent, definitely, so they don't have the capability to perform the process of photosynthesis. That's why definitely they will act as heterotrophs. Next one, so here in fungal members, which one here the saprophytes are there as well as parasites also are there. Now saprophytes concern definitely engulf the food materials from the dead and decay organisms also of plants as well as animals, means they engulf the organic matter from dead and decay structures of plants as well as animals, not from the living ray. Suppose if organisms engulf the food materials or they take the food material from the living organisms, so such particular organisms we can be taken as parasites. Did you understand the difference? Parasites take the food material from the living organisms. Saprophytes means take the organic materials, or simply you can remember take food material from the dead and decay of substances of plants as well as animals. Next one, fungal members. These fungal members are associated with, these three are important, 2 points are important. So these fungal members are associated with algal members and live symbiotically, known as lichens. So here the association, the association of which one and which one? Association of fungal members as well as algal members, so definitely forms the lichens. So I think so this point you know very well. Suppose if you don't know, you can learn this point now. So means the association of algal members and fungal members form which one? Lichens. So these lichens, so definitely these are all lichens are definitely required for the formation of soil. Why? Because while soil formation takes place, these lichens are acting as pioneers. So due to the secretions of lichens, so here some kind of enzymes will be secreted, and these all will be involved in weathering process. So thereby finally leads to the formation of soil. So here one more important point you learn in the end of this chapter regarding lichens. What is that point now? These lichens we will be considering as pollution indicators. Now in this particular case, fungal members are there as well as algal members are there. Now out of these two, which one performs the process of photosynthesis? Means algal member performs the process of photosynthesis, and this fungal members, what it will do means it like it absorbs the food, it absorbs the water and minerals and supplies to the algal member, and this algal member prepares the food materials, and some amount of the food materials supplies to the fungal members. So in this particular case now, algal members in lichen, algal member is known as phycobiont and fungal member is known as mycobiont. You try to remember, in a fungal members, in a fungal in a lichens, algal member is known as phycobiont and fungal member is known as mycobiont. Next one is fungal members are associated with the roots of higher plants. So don't forget this bit also. Fungal members associated with the roots of higher plants and form mycorrhiza. So definitely this point also is important. So in a second year as well as in a first year also, still so many times I will discuss regarding this one. So just one sentence important, just you try to save in your mind, that is when fungal members are associated with a higher plant root system, so definitely forms a special type of structure is known as mycorrhiza, helps in absorption of water and minerals and supplies to the plant body. So means here these fungal members are getting association with two types of organisms. So one is with algae and one more is with the higher roots of higher plants. When fungal members associated with algae, forming lichens, and when fungal members associating with a higher plants root system, now forming mycorrhiza. Next one, reproduction concern. So reproduction concern, so there are three different types of reproductive types over there. First one is vegetative reproduction, second one is asexual reproduction, and third one is sexual reproduction. One more time, reproduction concern, there are three modes are there. Three modes are vegetative reproduction, second one is asexual reproduction, and one more is sexual reproduction. So likewise there are different types of reproductive modes are there in fungal members. In a next video definitely I will cover elaborate information regarding fungal members. Okay ma, thank you.